them over and over again because I think that we all feel that way to be a part of something so special. All of you will also hear the words thank you, and I would like to thank a few people here this evening. Beginning with my family, thank you for your support, for being here this evening. Thank you for the wonderful people that we call Team Nancy that were terrific as we put together this submission and getting all of my stories and video together on a disc. Thank you, you know who you are. Also, you know who you are, all my cheerleaders that said, you can do this, keep going. You were right, and here I am. I'd like to say thank you to the committee here at the Hall of Fame for making this evening possible. And thank you, Kevin, not only for your support, but to Channel 2 for the archives. I'm a person who looks forward and not back, and I had not kept many of the things that I needed for a submission. And so Channel 2 was kind enough to let me come in and get the video and the stories that I needed for my application. So thank you to all of you, or I would not be standing here this evening. You know, the application process is it is really very time-consuming, but it was wonderful for me because it did force me to look back. And as I looked through the milestones of my career, and I looked at the very special people and the events that I don't want to forget, I have three very, very brief moments that I wanted to share with you. The first, as Kevin alluded, I was one of the first female broadcasters in this market. And I was thrown out of the Detroit Athletic Club, not once, but twice, for walking through the front door as a woman. Now that taught me persistence and a little bit about equality, or inequality. Secondly, I had the great privilege to interview every president from Jimmy Carter to George W. Bush, and if any of you have connections with the Obama administration, I'm available. I'd like to keep that tally going there. It was, that really taught me great preparation and listening, because as you know, what you don't hear sometimes is the story. And third, there was a woman, a wonderful lady that I would cross paths with once in a while. Her name was Nellie Keller. I learned from her that you really do learn something from everyone that you meet. She was a single mom living on the east side of Detroit, a pretty rough area, with three fantastic kids and a dog. And I was at her house. We were talking about her children and all they had achieved. And I said to her, how do you inspire them? And she said, visually, if I can. And I said, what do you mean? She said, I'll show you. So she called them all together, and she said, hold on, just 1 second. She pulled a pork chop out of the refrigerator, and all she said was, this is important to you. And she threw it. And the dog came out of nowhere, grabbed it in midair, and I think it had probably consumed half the pork chop before he landed, with a big smile on his face. And the kids are thinking about what might not be on their plate that night. She told me the reason she did that is because you keep your eye on what you want. You approach, be tenacious, keep focused, and don't let go, make it happen. Now, I told that story to journalism students through the years because I think it's not only a great lesson in life, it's also about our profession. I mean, you think about it. Focus on the story, be tenacious, stay with it. And then I add, tell both sides of the story, or 3 or 4, or how many sides you need to tell. Be clear and keep your facts straight. You know, our industry, as you know, is changing by the minute. And we're on a journey, but I think if we take that foundation with us, that's definitely the news industry will thrive, and survive and thrive. So once again, I would like to use those words. I am humble and proud to be here before you as part of the 213 induction group into the Michigan Hall of Fame, the Journalism Hall of Fame. Thank you.